Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another show of AIDS Healthcare, AIDS Call-In Live. My name is Kendall Moore, and I'm the representative on behalf of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation here today, and one of the partners for the AIDS Call-In Live show. This show, folks, is designated for individuals and/or for those folks who, what we like to do is educate individuals in the field of HIV and/or AIDS, and we also have open dialogue relative to a lot of the things that are currently going on in our communities that may have an impact as it relates to HIV and/or AIDS. I also am the former director of the Southside Help Center and still do a lot of work with them. And the reason that I bring them up specifically is because Southside Help Center has been in existence for a little bit over 26, 27 years. Southside Help Center, founded in June of 1987, and is purposed to help people of all ages embrace a lifestyle prevention against mental health, physical, and social ills. Southside Help Center currently joined forces with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. The AIDS Healthcare Foundation, sorry about that, and the AIDS Healthcare Foundation came into Chicago a little bit over a half a year ago, and I'm trying to get that information available to you guys. Oh, here we are right here. We are now, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation is located in 36 countries, and we are scattered roughly 16 states in the United States of America. Southside Help Center and the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, in conjunction, our purpose here in Chicago is intended to provide comprehensive HIV/AIDS services for individuals impacted and/or affected by HIV and/or AIDS. With the prevalence rate and with so much that is going on in the United States of America, and particularly here in Chicago, it is extremely important for individuals to understand and know what their status is. AHF, we have two new locations. The first is the Chicago Healthcare Center, which is located 2600 South on Michigan Avenue. It's in suite lower level D, and the office is open Monday and Thursday 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Hyde Park location for the AIDS Healthcare Foundation is 1515 East 52nd Place, and that's Chicago, Illinois. And that office is open on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Both offices offer what are referred to as walk-in free wellness clinics. And the wellness clinics, they act as STI, sexually transmitted infections, for folks to get tested for free for gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis. With so much that's going on currently in the Chicagoland area as it relates to high morbidity, high prevalence among HIV and AIDS, I really would strongly encourage anyone who's participating or know someone who's participating in high-risk behaviors to make sure that they come into one of our locations and receive a free HIV AIDS test. In doing so, you not only protect yourself, but you also protect the community, and you also get the opportunity to know what your status is. With the high-risk behaviors that are currently happening, particularly among young African American males, a few studies have come out, and the Centers for Disease Control has currently put a lot of money into young African American males who have, high-risk sexual behaviors, or who also have same gender-loving sex with one another. Have put a lot of resources into our community because the prevalence rate is so high. You can give me a call at 312-738-1060 to ask any questions that you may have, because there are a lot of misnomers that exist and that are out there. And in addition to the misnomers, there are a lot of folks who don't know who to turn to. the work that I do, being in the community, being in community-based settings, and also being in medical settings, oftentimes there's a social, for lack of a better term, there's something socially attached to it as well. When we talk about young African American males being impacted by HIV and AIDS, the lifestyle right now is having a tremendous impact, not only on them, but the communities from which they come. Just, to share stories without naming names, many of our young men are, questioning their own sexuality. And when you think about that, not only are they questioning their own sexuality, but they are also having very difficult time with, for lack of a better term, having someone to speak with about what they are experiencing. In addition to that, there are just the regular social norms that exist, for, all of our populations, because all lives matter, and particularly Black Lives Matter, absolutely. But in talking to some of the young men, they're dealing with things such as homelessness. They're dealing with things such as high unemployment. They're dealing with things such as high incarceration. Couple all of those things together, in addition to what is currently happening in the community with some of our law enforcement agents, it leads one to wonder how, our young folks are actually surviving. And, we at Southside Help Center, we at the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, we certainly want to let everyone out there know that there's a place for you at either of our facilities. We are very culturally competent, and we provide a plethora of comprehensive services for individuals to deal with a plethora of issues that may exist. Again, the call-in number here today is 312-738-1060. Give me a call. I would love to engage you in any questions or thoughts that you may have. You may be a parent, you may be a social worker, you may work in the community and may know someone who is HIV positive. You may be a person who recently has had unprotected sex and may not know where to get tested. I certainly have that information available for you. It's confidential. In addition to that, it's fully comprehensive services if in fact you have a positive reactionary test that does come back. But for those folks who do provide some sort of guidance, you are a guardian and you are afraid to have and or engage in the conversation, I humbly would implore that you do reach out to AHF or Southside Help Center, the Chicago Department of Public Health, the Illinois Department of Public Health, or some other form or entity of government, aid service organization, community-based organization, and receive the help that you may need. Those who are overseeing young folks and they may be questioning their own livelihood, they may be questioning their own sexuality, this is a great and it's an opportune time to have those type of conversations with them, and we certainly are a resource for having and engaging in such discussions. Again, now not to be redundant, but just with so much that's going on, and for those who are like looking at the show currently, when you truly think about it and the high-risk behaviors that are taking place in our community, it would behoove anyone who has had unprotected sex within the last 6 months to a year. I mean, in fact, even a month ago, to make sure that you know what your status is, from HIV and AIDS to your regular sexually transmitted infections. The other thing that I would like to mention is some of the services that we do provide. both at the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Southside Help Center. I'm going to go to my overhead once again, just so I can reiterate to everyone where you can receive services. Again, for the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, we're located in 2 locations. The first of which is 2600 South on Michigan Avenue, and this is suite lower level D, and that's in Chicago, Illinois. This is free, anonymous, confidential HIV/AIDS testing. And then on Mondays and Thursdays at the same location, we provide Wellness Clinic, which is free STD testing and treatment, and no appointments are needed. For those who may be a little shy and may not want to engage live on camera, you can also visit our website at hivcare.org. Our second location is located in the heart of Hyde Park. We are just above Mellow Yellow, but we are on the backside of Mellow Yellow on the second floor, and that address is 1515 East 52nd Place, and that's Chicago, Illinois. And we're open there on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Now, both locations, we do have numbers that you can contact, the first of which is 312-881-3050. And the Hyde Park location is 312-881-3050 as well. At any time you would like, you give us a call and we will make sure that we get you on the schedule for free HIV tests and free STI testing as well. And we do, again, provide medications for you on site. Speak a little bit about Southside Help Center. Vanessa Smith, who is the executive director, big shout to you. Just finished talking to Vanessa. Are doing tremendous things and are one of AHF's affiliates. And I'm very excited to announce that Southside Help Center will be receiving, and you may see these vehicles. I know you see one of the vehicles currently in the Chicagoland, in the greater Chicagoland area. They're called MTUs. They are mobile testing units. Mobile testing units allow for folks to come up and engage our outreach, testing, and referral staff personnel with the community and educate the community on HIV/AIDS and STDs, STIs. You'll see the Southside Help Center symbol. You will see the AHF symbol. And when you do see these vehicles, they are very user-friendly. We provide condoms, we provide education, and we provide free testing, confidential and anonymous, on these vehicles. As I was alluding to just a moment ago, we're very excited because we have a second vehicle that will be coming to the Chicagoland area in just a couple of weeks. And you'll see these vehicles riding around in your community. I would humbly ask that, we try to make it convenient because oftentimes folks, at least African-American males, have a problem with going to the doctor and being tested for anything, and righteously so, given the fact of, what has happened with the history of America and testing of African-Americans. Nonetheless, it's also just as important for us to be tested. And for not just us, but for those who we know who are in our network and circle, who we either know of and or suspect of participating in high-risk sexual behavior. Sometimes the conversation is a very taboo conversation, and I get that and I understand it. But more importantly, it is tantamount. Anybody in the listening voice, you can hear my voice. Make sure that you know what your HIV status is. Give me a call, 312-738-1060 is the number, and I will take as many calls as I can before I get off of the line. And matter of fact, I got a caller right now. Caller, how are you? And welcome to AIDS Call-In Live. Go ahead, you're on the air. Hello, caller.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How about yourself?
Can you hear me just fine?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you please tell me why you got...
I'm sorry? Yeah, sorry about that. 312-738-1060. That's the number to call in. The AIDS Healthcare Foundation, folks, we're relatively new in the city of Chicago, and a lot of folks don't know about who we are and or what we do. You will begin to see a lot of advertisement in the downtown area, on the west side of Chicago, in the Hyde Park area, the far south side area. From advocacy, and I just want to make sure that I get this right. So from healthcare, from us providing healthcare, advocacy, and research, we do a lot of tremendous work throughout 36 countries, and now we are, doing work in the we've been doing work in the United States forever as well, but we're now in Chicago. And so I would encourage everyone to visit AHF.org and learn a little bit more about what the AIDS Healthcare Foundation is all about. And when given the opportunity, or when you get the opportunity, stop by and visit us at one of our clinics. We are consistently in the community trying to educate and advocate on behalf of those who are less fortunate and for those disenfranchised communities. Don't have the numbers directly in front of me, so I don't want to fluff them, but I do know this for 100% fact. There is a very high prevalence rate among African American males when it comes to HIV and AIDS. We got we have the children and the young adults who are returning to school. They will need they will need a checkup prior to them going back. I don't want to push it, but I will strongly encourage those parents to be aware, and you may want to think about making sure that you get your children, your young adults, tested for HIV and AIDS. And the reason for it is the sooner you know, the better, so that we can get you into treatment and we can get the individual and those persons healthy, because you can continue to live a long time now, given the current medications that are available and are being provided, via the pharmacy companies. Southside Help Center, I want to mention this, we'll be having a back to school event, and we'll be providing free backpacks for kids in the Roseland and Greater Roseland area. Southside Help Center is located at 10420 South on Halstead. And I want to make sure that you visit the website. And the reason for it is because there's a plethora of information there of all of the services that Southside Help Center is providing. And you can get very important and critical dates that may assist you or a family that you know. And again, the back to school event that is happening for young children is coming up. So visit Southside Help Center at www.southsidehelp.org. Get that information. From what I understand, there will be music, there will be free backpack and free, I want to say immunizations, but there'll be, from what I understand, a medical van out there so that you can have everything that your children need upon returning to school safely this upcoming school year. I also want to mention to you that the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, we will be participating in what's called Market Days, the Halstead Street Market Days, that comes up August 13th and 14th, which is a Saturday and a Sunday. Our booth will be set up. Please stop by and have a feel free to stop by, have a live conversation with myself and many of the staff that will be there. Again, that Halsted Street Market Days coming up August 13th and 14th. And the Southside Help Center and the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, we will have a table out there. We're going to have some fun. We'll have music playing. We're giving away a lot of goodies, from sunglasses to T-shirts. We'll be providing free HIV testing that day. We will be providing a lot of fun and games. If you've never participated in it, this is something that you do not want to. It's something that you don't want to miss. Lastly, as the school year approaches, ladies and gentlemen, I humbly want to submit to you that you take advantage of what the Chicago Police Department has and will be providing on their website as it relates to the safety of our children who will be returning to school. And the reason that I mention it is because it has been one of the most deadly summers to date, and a lot of shootings that have occurred. And although we are AIDS Call-In Live show, All Lives Matter, and we want to make sure that you are equipped with the proper information that you need to ensure that your children are safe upon returning to school. And so, just as a tidbit to yourself, make sure that you are aware of what those dates are as far as your children returning to school. Make sure that you are aware of what records will be necessary. Make sure that you are aware of all of the supplies that will be needed. Know who, all of the folks who make that school run, from the individuals who are on the street to protect them, to the folks who are inside of the school receiving them. Don't wait until the last minute, to ask for any type of help, because again, there are some resources that are available and that are out there for our Chicagoland contingency. To assist those students who are returning to school. Health is health, comprehensively, from infectious diseases to physical to mental, and all of the above. As I get ready to conclude today's show, and certainly we'll be back in the next 4 weeks, I want to remind everyone that Southside Help Center is located at 10420 South on Halsted. And they're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. You can reach out to them. They're a fully comprehensive, community-based AIDS servicing organization, and you can visit their website at www.southsidehelp.org. And you can also set up an appointment with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. We are in Chicago. We have 2 locations. The first of which is at 2600 South on Michigan Avenue. That's lower level D. That's Chicago, Illinois. We are open Monday and Thursdays. On Mondays and Thursdays, we're open Monday through Thursday. But on Monday and Thursdays, it's from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. And on Wednesdays, we are open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that is for HIV and HIV testing. Excuse me. Also, at the 2600 South Michigan lower level D address, on Mondays and Thursdays from 4 to 8 p.m., we provide free STD testing and treatment, and no appointment is needed. So if you know someone, or if you know of someone, pass the information along. Again, Monday and Thursday from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m., free STD testing and treatment is provided at 2600 South on Michigan Avenue, Suite lower level D. And lastly, our second location, which opened recently a couple of months ago, is located at 1515 East 52nd Place. We're on the second floor. We're right above Mellow Yellow. And that location is open on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. This is the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. You can visit us at hivcare.org. You can also visit our website at ahf.org. I want to thank you guys for your time. It's always live talking with you. And until next time, give us a call. Thank you.